Well, good morning, my friends. What is up? It's your friend and pal Seth. My pronouns are he and they. I want to welcome you into your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. If we're keeping track of the number, and guess what we are, because that's what we do here. It is day number 88 of our morning inspiration videos. Day 88, almost 100. I love it. In addition to it being day 88, it is also Sunday. I call Sunday Sensational Sundays. So I will ask you, what will you do to make this day sensational? Okay, now it may not be Sunday when you're actually watching this video. So I will say, what are you doing to make the day that you are watching this video, whatever day of the week it is, what are you doing to make that day sensational? What do you choose for that day? Just a little question for you. All right. So, because it is also Sunday, inside of this morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video, I'm going to be talking about what we're going to be discussing inside of the week ahead for this week inside of the community of practice that I belong to. So I'm calling this the New Week Preview. I love it. And this week, we are kind of moving into the last week of July. And August 1st begins this Friday. So, woo, okay. So, but this week is going to be incredible, y'all. This week is going to be intense. It's going to also be incredible. So let's look at some of the things that we're going to be talking about this week. Again, I'm not going to delve too deep. This is just a little bit of a overall an overall view. All right. So one of the first things we're going to be looking at this week is signs that we are struggling. I think, figuring out and learning, to spot the signs, especially when we are struggling, is something that's really, really important. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at ways to kind of raise our own self-esteem. We started, we were looking last week at ways to kind of increase our self-worth and everything, and we're going to look this week at kind of ways to kind of raise up our own self-esteem and what that looks like. And I tell you, it's going to be incredible. Okay. And figuring out how to raise our self-esteem is really, really important, I think, for a lot of us. And this all comes down as well to this theme of self-acceptance, which is another big thing we're going to be discussing this week. Okay. We're really going to be delving into what the self-acceptance look like for each of us, because it is something that's very different. It may look different for all of us. All right. So in addition to that, a big thing we're going to be looking at this week in terms of self-knowledge is kind of what helps us when we are feeling a certain way. So if we're feeling depressed, if we're feeling anxious, if we're feeling hopeless, however it is we're feeling, what are some things that help us when we're feeling that way? It could be, like a physical thing. That what helps us physically, what helps us emotionally, what helps us spiritually. I know sometimes for me, something that could really help me is sometimes if I need it inside of my body, let's just say I need a good meal. I just need to eat something healthy, which may help to give me some energy. And then what may help me kind of maybe emotionally or something is to listen to a specific song, listen to a song or look at the lyrics of a song, or actually maybe do some dancing, or do some type of movement, whatever it is. So we're really going to be looking this week also at kind of what helps us when we are feeling a certain way. And I think this also goes to this theme of kind of regulating our nervous system, because especially when we're anxious, when we have anxiety and nervous system, right there. Okay, so we're going to also be looking this week at ways that we can kind of regulate our nervous system, okay, and how that works. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Also, this kind of theme of perceptions of how experiences affect us. Now, depending on each of us, again, all of us are different, so when we have, specific and certain experiences that maybe happen to us or happen around us, we all may react in different ways. Some of us may act in the same ways, but some of us may react in different ways. Okay. And along with that, we kind of have our own perceptions of how different experiences affect us and everything. So we're really going to be kind of looking at, how, if we have, let's just say, a negative perception of how something has gone, let's just say, an experience that we may not have been in control of or over, how is there a way that we can maybe use a perspective shift in order to maybe change a bit of our perspective on it? And then from there, how can we maybe use that same perspective shift or perspective change when something similar comes back up again, if that makes sense? You know, so this is something else that we're really going to be looking at this week. These perceptions of how experiences affect us, and figuring out if there's a way to use a type of perspective shift on it, and seeing if we can use that perspective shift for future occurrences and future experiences that we may have. Okay. And one of the last things we're going to be talking about this week is, oh my God, sitting with our emotions. I'm telling you right now, if you're feeling depressed, if let's say you're feeling depressed, anxious, angry, all of those iwi feelings, right? Who loves sitting with those? Who loves sitting with? Okay, you don't love sitting with that depressed feeling or that anxious feeling. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? As Michael Jackson would sing, you are not alone. You're not alone in that, okay? I don't think anyone really loves sitting with those iwi, iwi emotions, okay? I don't think anyone loves it. However, being able to sit with those iwi emotions, instead of calling them negative, let's just call them iwi, okay? And sitting with those iwi emotions actually may have the actual potential to help us out the most. It's been proven, okay? That's one of those things, it's been proven, okay? So we're really going to look this week at sitting with our emotions, what that looks like, and how that actually really does have the potential to really help us. Because it all goes back to, as I was talking about in the beginning, that whole theme of kind of self-knowledge, knowing ourselves, knowing our emotions, knowing how we react to things, knowing, all of this, So, it's deep and it's airway, but important and vital. All right. So that's really what that's, again, as I said, I didn't want to delve too deep into the week, but I think I delved deep enough right there. Okay. So the next question is, did Seth complete his goal for yesterday? Mm-hmm. So if you saw my video actually from last night, because I wasn't able to do a morning video for yesterday, so I did it last night. I talked about how my goal for yesterday was just to take it easy, prioritize my mental health and my self-care. And bibbidi bobbidi boop, I got that done. And I was able to do that, and I'm still doing that. So yeah, and it's something that is really, really helpful for me. And I'm going to guess that it's very helpful for all of us. Figuring out ways to just take it easy and prioritizing our own self-care, prioritizing our own mental health, because it's something that's really, really important. All right. So one of my biggest goals for today is, guess what? It's laundry day. Who here loves laundry day? Okay, I may be in the minority on this one. Yes, I know. It's laundry day for me, and I got some laundry to do. Okay, so I'm going to get my laundry done today. That's one of my goals for today on this sensational Sunday. All right, so that will about do it for your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. I will say, don't quit before the miracle happens, my babies. Find ways to keep moving forward, because you are amazing. You are worth it. Let us find ways to move forward together and not give up. We cannot quit. We got to keep moving forward. All right. I will also say stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused on your amazing, huge, big dreams and goals, my friends. Okay? Thank you so much for watching your morning inspiration on your morning inspiration video for the day. And I will see hey, you. God, you cute. I will see you in the morning inspiration video for tomorrow.